So before we start with our discussion, I generally have this one-liner coming up every time. So what comes to mind when the word insurance broking comes to you? One-liner, one word.
Negotiator.
Negotiator. Mr. Sethi?
I will say solution provider to the clients.
Very nice. Solution provider to the clients, negotiator.
I'll say expert with the technical experience and who will be the counselor for the customer.
So very different. Normally when we think of broker, what comes to mind? And here we have three brokers saying what comes to mind when insurance broking is said. It has nothing to do with quote giving. It is not saying that we are just selling. It is saying that we are a solution provider, we are negotiators, and we are giving value propositions. So welcome to this session. Generally, the question is asked, we have this ecosystem where we have insurance companies and we have the insured. So then why is there a need for an insurance broker? Shashank, if you can start.
Thank you, everyone. So, if we see the history of insurance globally, insurance broking has existed since the inception of the insurance. It is not just involving our intermediary, it is finding the right solution for the clients from the multiple options available, helping the client to understand what should be there, what shouldn't be there, what should be their needs, and accordingly, that's what the value add an insurance provider and works along with brokers and brings it.
Thank you. Mr. Sethi?
I will take example from pharma industry. When they produce the medicine and the customers are located all over the country, then the intermediary uses a doctor who prescribes the medicine to the patient, that this medicine in this dosage and in this sequence it has to be taken. The same way, insurance broker is the intermediary who is taking this wide range of products of large number of life companies or health companies or non-life companies to the customer to tell that what is the right product from right insurance company at right price for you. And he is holding hands like the doctor in case one has taken the medicine and there is a side effect. So here in this case it is that when the policy is taken and the claim has occurred or claim is to be lodged, insurance broker is the one who is assisting the customer in lodging of the claim, settlement of the claim, and he is intermediary is a must. Direct dealings, no, they don't make sense ultimately.
Thank you, thank you. Geeta, your thoughts on it?
I agree with Sethi sir. This is the very easy and cost-effective method of selecting your correct, appropriate policies with some technical expertise. And I believe I look at this journey as, from starting, from selection of product till the claim settlement. There is a support system which is available and that will be useful for a customer.
Okay.
See, here I will like to add to what you have said. Insurance broking firms are ready to assist the corporate clients in even the risk assessment study, which is done by the insurance companies on free of cost basis, but sometimes MSME or the corporate or the manufacturer does not know of this facility. So in fact, the role of insurance broker starts from risk assessment, risk being faced by the corporate or by the individual, and then coming up with the solution.
Thank you, Mr. Sethi. So we already are aware that there are around 643 brokers, insurance brokers. That is what I found on the IRDA website, live brokers which are there. And we have a very few insurance companies which are there in India. But the business houses are much more, because India population, we know it's much larger, as compared to a Singapore where there are just hundreds insurance brokers. So what do you feel? Should we have more insurance brokers or the number is adequate? Shashank?
On an enterprise level, we have seen globally as well as in India that consolidation has been happening for the last 10 years and will happen and has happened. However, insurance, if we talk about B2B, B2C model, we are still unpenetrated market in India. So at a retail level, and we definitely need a better distribution, which eventually comes with right brokers or right agents, and even at MSME or SME level as well.
I will put it this way, that number of insurance brokers at 600 plus what madam has said, it is not that important. What is important is that all these brokers spread all over the country. We find that 6 metro cities are having concentration of brokers, and there might be cluster of 3 or 4 districts in any of our state who have no broker. Penetration has to increase, and therefore the regulator has to come out with this strategy that for opening of the branches by the insurance brokers in those unpenetrated districts, what additional benefits should be given by the insurers to the insurance brokerage firm. We have to take the insurance to the interiors, to the unpenetrated districts of this country for increasing the penetration. We are over penetrated in metros, where in one lane you may have 5 agents living, and like that. That is, people are fed up in metros with these agents and intermediaries, including insurance broker firms, from whom they go on getting calls for their motor insurance. But does it happen in the interiors of India, where some people say that 60% vehicles in this country are uninsured? We have to find solution for that.
Thank you. Geeta, your thoughts on it?
I'll say that we should more focus on quality rather than quantity. Here it is not important that how many brokers we have. I think we should focus on how we can improve the services through the regulations, so that there are good brokers should be there in the market, which will ultimately help the society getting the right policies, right coverages, right product at the right price.
Thank you.
Here I would like to make value addition to what. India is a large country. We are having super consultant doctors, we are having doctors, we are having quacks, we are having Ayurvedic doctors, we are having hakims, we are having VAS. Quality is one thing which is needed, but then it is first we need the penetration. That is, we have to reach the masses. So quality comes with certain cost. And in a country where the people are affected with L1, lowest price syndrome, first we have to reach those people. We have to give them something. It might not be, even though we are insurance broker firm and we will emphasize the quality, but it is that let the people first buy the product.
Absolutely
Become
right,
familiar
sir.
with products.
I think Mr.
I
Sethi
agree
has
with
touched
you.
upon 2 points. Sorry, Mr. Sethi has already touched upon 2 points, and I'm going to take on from those 2 points itself now. One, I said he spoke about L1, so looks like challenges for brokers. So we'll come to the challenges, but before that he spoke about penetration. And we've been hearing today, throughout the day, that insurance for all is going to come by 2047. So for penetration, what do you think, you already mentioned brokers should be in those areas where it's not there. Anything else where brokers could come in? Shashank, you want to, for penetration?
So for the penetration, as Sir had earlier mentioned as well, that primarily in tier 2, tier 3 cities where the right presence is not there, that could be one thing. At MSME level or primarily at SME level, However, at enterprise level, to be honest, there are pretty relevant multinational and Indian brokers already there. And we are already seeing a massive consolidation already happening and has happened in the past. So same thing. So
So mainly
presence,
MSMEs and
if it comes to B2B, that's what I would say.
anything further you want to add, Geeta, Mr. Sethi?
What is needed is that we have to take the message of insurance to those small cities, and we have to take them to traders associations, where it is that when it comes to, then we say that, oh, that association is having 1,000 members or 15,000 members. That is why we, along with, that is insurance broker firms, along with these traders association, take the message to the MSMEs. MSME is the most neglected segment of Indian society, where the businessman, this, that, all that thing, small workshop, small welder and all that thing, they are not at all insured, and they are facing a great risk. When the loss occurs, that family is totally ruined, because that is the whole money has gone, and the person from a small businessman, he becomes a worker. He has to go, and welder who was running a successful business, and he has to then work as a welder with some other welder. That's what is. So insurance has to be taken to the masses, and one of the area which we find is that in our corporate world, in this one, employer-employee relationship, that is given too much of prominence. That is, we have to go for affinity groups insurance. We have to insure members of any religious body. We have to insure alumni members of any school or any college or any university. We have to take them as a group. We have to reach to them, and then it is that we will be able to take the insurance all over the country and increase the penetration level.
Okay. So you also mentioned about some challenges. So Geeta, what are the challenges which you are seeing in insurance broker, for brokering industry?
I think the major one is that constant changing needs of the customer. That is the biggest challenge. And the another thing is that, as I completely agree with Sethi sir, that L1, that कितना कम मिलेगा, कितना पहले 90% I think most of the team member will agree with what I'm saying, is that even though if you offer 90%, 99% to your customer, he'll say that और क्या ज़्यादा मिलेगा. That is the biggest challenge which I think we have been facing, that हर time सस्ता चाहिए. Yes, we are talking about quality, but quality के साथ में सस्ता क्या मिलेगा? That is the biggest challenge that we have to work here.
I support her with some facts. 1st of January 2007, de-tariffing was done, and now it is that RWAs are doing the property insurance of the condominiums or apartments and all that thing, where it is that 99.5% discount is being given on the tariff. And marine is also a case study where it is. But then it is that in marine you come across, I take example from marine as a good example, when the damage has occurred, is it that that same L1 affected client who had taken marine policy at that low premium is getting the support in lodging of the claim and settlement of the claim? No, he does not get. And it is a very common saying in the world that one dissatisfied customer will spread the message among 1,000 persons that Indian insurance companies do not pay. One satisfied customer at the most may tell 10 other persons that I have good experience of dealing with such and such insurance company, but one dissatisfied customer is definitely affecting 1,000 persons over a period of time. So it is very important that people have to come out of L1 syndrome people have to buy the right product at right price from the right insurance company and with the help of insurance brokerage firm. Insurance brokerage firms have to increase in number, increase in their penetration in the districts of this country, and we have to go to affinity groups for increasing the penetration of group term insurance, group health insurance, and these parameters.
Okay. Shashank, anything from you on challenges? What's covered?
I think most of the things are covered. These are the only things, and definitely when it comes to conventional insurance products, the product development or the new product is something which, because it is such a regulatory industry, is something which we believe could be much more driven faster, and which will help us in reaching out to the larger scale of customers with different products as well.
So once he's
Ma'am,
mentioned
I like
about
to-
new products. Sorry.
Ma'am, I like to add here.
Uh-huh.
Here the another challenge, and you may disagree with what I'm saying, is that people here in India think that मेरे साथ कुछ नहीं होगा. If you try to give them a right choice, right product, right limits, you try your best to guide, sir, this is applicable, this is advisable, then the biggest challenge is that acceptance कि ये मेरे साथ नहीं होगा, किसी के साथ में होगा, that to take that, to convince that client that they should be taking an insurance and at the right price. If I may ask, how many of you, you have a term policy over 5 crore or 10 crores? That's a need of the hour, and I believe you will find only few hands, or how many of you have a health policy cover of 1 crore? So this is, we have been teaching, we have been telling to the customer, but that acceptance is little slow. That is another challenge, and I'm sure over a period of time, with the kind of the efforts being taken 360 across with by some good brokers and by the regulators, so we might overcome this challenge soon.
See, I take the point from her. 1 crore rupees health insurance policy, yes, if some client needs it, we will give it. But as an insurance brokerage firm specializing in health insurance, we will come out with solution to that person, that on the base policy of 10 lakhs rupees, we will give you super top-up of 90 lakhs rupees, where the premium will be much, much lower than 1 crore policy, which
Absolutely.
my colleague is selling.
Absolutely.
That is the expertise of insurance broker firm. We save the money of the client, we provide support in lodging of the claim, we get the money back from the insurance company in the form of claim settlement. That's what is our success is. But here it is, ma'am, with your permission, I will like to give you an idea about what the potential lies in this world in insurance with 2 case studies which I handled in last many years. In London, the taxis were not being insured by the insurance companies because they were having higher accident rates or claims and all that thing. And then one insurance company was formed specifically for insuring the taxis of London. And they provided the service by having their own managed workshop, because they used to have only 1 or 2 models of cars which were used, that are black taxis of London. And then it is that certain number of workshops were set up by this insurance company, that anything happening to the taxi will be taken to this authorized workshop and done and out. That is. Second was that I came across insurance need of the wife of one of the merchant navy person who was going to the merchant ship, because now it is that merchant ships are having few persons, but they are having family rooms also. So she was joining her husband on the ship, and none of the insurance company was ready to issue the health insurance policy for someone who will not be in India, because the person will be on the ship. And we could not give any insurance because it is even today, in 2024 also, and that this policy will not be given. Because the person, she may be on the ship for 3 months or 4 months, that is. Then it is that I went on investigating that how can it happen that there is no policy for such person who is joining her husband on a merchant navy ship. It came out that there is one insurance company in London which specializes in issuing such insurance policy because they cover the spouses of all the countries who are joining their husbands on merchant navy ships. That is the niche market. That is the specialized market. We have to come out of this overemphasis on motor insurance premium of insurance companies has gone up to this. Health insurance has gone up to this. And we are neglecting so many niche markets which need insurance. So it is that this overemphasis on top line coming from motor insurance and health insurance has to be reduced. It is affecting the growth of this insurance industry in the country.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Sethi. So, going forward from his discussion, you mentioned about 2 products of innovative products for policies. So, Shashank, have you seen in India some or anywhere else any examples where broker has helped in innovating any product, any policy? Broker has been instrumental in doing it, or even failing a product maybe. If not innovating a product, failing a product.
So one of the products which is recently being talked about and eventually most of the reinsurers have involved there is parametric solutions, which is still coming up in India, though it is pretty common globally, but in India it is happening at a decent scale and will pick up. That's one of the products which comes to my mind. There are a lot of products which were launched, especially in commercial space, but didn't pick up. One of them being title insurance, I would say. It didn't pick up to a scale it was expected a couple of years back. And I would let Sir say.
Another product which was introduced by one of the insurance companies, pet insurance, and there it is that the policy was designed in a manner that if the pet is more than so many months old, then insurance cannot be taken. So we came across as insurance brokerage firm with many families who are having pets, but if the pet is 4 years old or 6 years old, and that is why you are not giving insurance. So it is that those who are designing the products, that is they themselves do not have any exposure to what the product should be. I used to be in London for some posting, and then it is that the travel agencies used to say that when you are going on tour and you are selecting the tour, you will be talking to the person in our office who has been on that tour to that country. And that is, if someone has not gone from London to Thailand, what product one can sell? And this is what is we are doing it, that the number of pet insurance policies sold in India by this insurance company, data is confidential, because we have the wrong practice which has been going on for putting all such policies under miscellaneous category. We are affecting the awareness of the people by putting cyber and liability and pet insurance and this insurance and that under one miscellaneous category. What is this going on? In this, and that is, we are talking of artificial intelligence and we are talking of these things. We cannot distinguish, we cannot release the figures in this country that how many cyber insurance policies have been sold to corporates and how many have been sold to the families under individual category. We have to come up with data which should be open, which should be available. That is, the data which is available in IIB in Hyderabad, that is, it should be available to the users. Why insurance broker firms cannot access the data of IIB? It's a question mark. Data is being generated by insurance brokers and by the insurers and this one and TPAs and all that thing. Let us have access to the data so that we can come up with innovative products which we are ready to sell to the masses.
Thank you.
Very well
Geeta.
said, sir.
Geeta, you have to say
Very well
something.
said. Agree with you.
No, but sometimes the insurance brokers have also a lot of data because they deal with so many insurance companies. So, basis your data also, maybe you could then design some product for the customers.
See, opportunities available, but it is that developing of a specific product. At one time, in PID Chamber of Commerce, we conducted a program on gem and jewelry insurance in Jaipur, and there it is that we had the speakers. There is a one agent in Bombay who specializes in insurance